Welcome back. June is one of the most popular months for weddings, even if the month usually comes with rains and floods. And much of the wedding preparation is centered on the gown because every June bride wants to look her best when walking down the aisle. So joining us this morning to show us his fabulous wedding gowns is the designer to the stars, Francis Libiran. Good morning.
Good morning, Ginger.
And may I add, very handsome Francis.
Oh, thank you.
It's wonderful to see you again.
Nice to see you too.
Well, I mean, we obviously hear about your designs all the time on the red carpet, on red carpet premieres at various big occasions.
Yeah.
You are a known and favorite designer to many celebrities. You know, how do you, before we even really get into the wedding gowns, you know, how did that really just come about? And if there was one piece that you really think kind of skyrocketed your presence on the fashion scene, which one would it be?
Well, I guess it's Kim's debut gown that really made it me known out there. So that pale pink debut gown, I mean, it created a lot of attention, especially from the Filipino community abroad. I would get orders from LA, San Francisco.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What's it like designing for celebrities when it comes to like those huge, big occasions? I'm sure there's a lot of pressure sometimes.
Yes, there's a lot of pressure, but it's really interesting because not all designers has the privilege to design superstars.
Of course.
So for me, it's a big thing.
Well, from stars, we're also going to take a look at your designs for weddings, and June is a big wedding month. You've brought in a couple of designs here in the studio, as well as some of the pictures that we just saw on screen. But tell us about some of the trends that June brides maybe should watch out for. I mean, well, it's already June, so it may be a little late to get one of these gowns, but just in case, you know, just in case, what are some things that we could actually look out for as far as trends on that? On that walk.
Here are parts of my 2012 wedding collection. So basically for the trend next year, it's more of details rather than beadwork.
I see. Okay.
So like, let's say for this gown,
okay,
did you see, you see the volume in the bottom part. So you see layers of different materials. We have the pleating and we have this layered wired effect.
Oh, I see.
So
you can kind of actually, you know,
it stands on its own.
Mold it. Yeah, yes, that's right. Okay.
And also the form of the wedding gown is very important. Like, for example, the silhouette. It's important that we see the figure of the girl who's wearing it, and we could go playful underneath it.
I see. Well, it'd be nice that the groom is able to appreciate the silhouette of his bride during that, right? Now, specifically, was there anything that particularly inspired you when you designed this gown? This very much looks like, hello, I am getting married today.
Yeah. Well, I want the visual impact, especially when the bride is walking down the aisle. I want that big volume, and the layered look is very in right now.
I see.
So by putting in this Swarovski encrusted belt, that's the detail, that's the focal point of that wedding gown.
Wonderful. Okay, well, I was speaking of volume. All of these gowns have volume, but this one is particularly interesting because it's not. It's different. It's very different from this kind of princess. Hello, I'm here. Glamour wedding gown.
This one is more of like
sexy.
An architecture in details of a wedding gown. We don't use any petticoat underneath, which some brides complain because it's really heavy and it's hot. So what we did was we wired it. So underneath this one has wires around the wedding gown.
I see. So there's really nothing underneath. It's kind of quite sexy in that it is a little bit see-through.
It has a see-through effect, yeah.
Yes, that's wonderful. Well, you just mentioned architecture. You actually took up architecture.
Yes, I took up architecture.
At UST, if I'm not mistaken, right? and then you also kind of ventured into fashion design.
Yes.
How does your studying architecture, how did your studying architecture contribute and kind of add a unique twist to your designs?
I guess it's the discipline on designing something. It really contributed a lot in me designing for clothes, especially for the details and the construction of it.
Now, for what kind of a bride would you say that this architectural gown would fit?
A modern bride.
A modern bride.
And I mean, it has details around it. It's kind of modern for the sophisticated bride.
And I guess we're also moving away from, you know, from the very traditional look of, of a gown. I mean, that definitely, I don't think anyone else is really going to be wearing.
We're trying to gear away from that princess type of look. You know, the big ball type gown, the one with the plain tulle type of a gown. So we're trying to to make it more detailed this time.
This definitely sends a message to the groom. Love me for my spunky personality that no one else is going to have. All right, we have a couple other wedding gowns. We'll, I guess, take a look at this one. This one's quite beautiful. And at least this one has the least amount of volume, I guess, out of the four. Tell us about this one.
This one, it has a silhouette of like a serpentina look. And what I did was I made the details kind of flat. So it's different from this one, which is big and volumized. This one is more of like texturing the material. So we put on different layers.
You still have that layered effect, which you were saying is quite in right now, but it is flat.
It is, yeah, it's flat.
Is this specific to a certain body type? Is this specific for, is there a particular reason why it is flat?
You know what, normally the cut that really flatters to women is, for me, is the drop waist. Right now, because it shows off the small waistline and at the same time the hip part.
Gives off a little longer torso, maybe? Okay.
Exactly. It balances the look.
Well, speaking of detailed work, this has a lot of very nice detail and beadwork. Tell us about what
again, I mean, the embellishments are kind of minimal actually, but we have this crown detail at the neckline, which makes it so different from other wedding gowns. And we try to put in the embroidery with Swarovski beads on it. So what I did was I put the embellishments more in the middle and in the neckline to show off the figure.
And this actually looks like you could kind of have an optical illusion of having something very a lot more endowed, I guess. Now, you did mention the last gown was inspired kind of by, has an architecture spin to it. What inspired this?
This one, I want to combine the more romantic feel to it. So by using the sweetheart neckline and by putting in this crown detail makes it more elegant and sophisticated.
Okay, let's move on to this one. We see the layered look still. And I think this is also some of the pictures that we saw earlier on. Tell us about this gown. Does it have a name, or does it have where you got your inspiration from this?
For this gown, it's from a real bride of mine. So, well, what I did was I put something on top of this part because she's kind of flat on the chest. So that's you could put in details to make this part look fuller. And
well, it's her day. Make it look fuller.
Exactly. And again, what we did is we cinched in the waist by putting in a detail of like lines. So it's still important that the bride shows off the figure and try to play around with it.
Okay, now what advice would you give to brides who are choosing their gowns? We have 4 different looks here. We've got from that modern bride look to something a little bit more traditional to something very romantic. And this is
modern
from your modern in detail as well. What can you tell our modern day brides, I guess, in general?
I guess for the tips that I could give for the brides right now is know your personality. It's really important that the bride knows who they are as a person, because me as a designer, I would design it according to them. You know, I mean, I wouldn't impose my design, but I wanted a combination of her personality and my design.
That's right. So know exactly what you want to put out there on that special day. If you're not a modern bride, or if you're not a little bit on the edgier side, don't go for the architecture
It'll look
gown.
awkward.
It will. You won't be so comfortable. I'm just kidding. All right. So, but aside from the gowns, we also have some wonderful suits for the men. Can you tell us about what our grooms might
Nowadays, grooms are very adventurous when it comes to their tuxedo. Like for this one, a lot of grooms are into wearing different colored tux.
I'm just gonna hold his hand while we're talking.
Like for this one, we're using a gunmetal gray material. It has that kind of a sheen effect to it. And what we put is we layered the lapel. So I noticed that every time a bride is, a groom is take their pictures, they focus on this part. So I want to focus on this layered effect around the...
Make sure that this top half is it will look very good.
Yes,
in
and
pictures.
photos also.
Now tell us about my groom here.
Oh,
What
your
is he
groom
wearing?
right now. This is, if you look at it from afar, it is like a tuxedo, a basic tuxedo. But when you look at it closely, it has textures on it.
You look quite handsome. Different textures as well. Now, are suits becoming more and more of a popular choice for Filipino men with their Filipino grooms, I guess I should say. They are. But I will say, on some men, I think it's difficult because we are built differently. Our men are built differently from, other, maybe from Western men who the suits are kind of usually tailored towards. What do you do specifically to kind of, make sure that the look isn't, bagay, the look is.
What we do, Ginger, in my team would always like look at the body type of the person wearing it, and we try to balance it off. Like if the guy is short, we try to make the length of the coat a bit shorter than the regular length.
I see. So a little bit more. Now, Francis, I think you've kind of hit it on the donkey's tail. All the things that we could do with the June bride. What do you think? What do you think that even outside of June, we have plenty of other months where brides will be married. Any upcoming trends that maybe bride hopefuls should look out for?
Well, for let's say for the bride, for the 2012 brides, a lot of colors that are coming in, especially for the wedding gowns. A lot of like a vintage look to it, especially for the color.
Nice.
It's not anymore the pure white or the off-white. You need to put let's say an off-white with a hint of pinkish, a pale pink color to it. It creates a vintage detail.
Is that something that we're looking at right there?
Yes, exactly.
What color is that?
It's more of like a nude champagne with a beigey feel to it.
So brides are actually playing around not just with actual details and maybe with the forms, but also the color. Right, wonderful. So 20 years down the line, when I'm actually maybe going to consider that, maybe we'll be going with polka dots or stripes. All right. Well, Francis, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show and to see you. Please tell our viewers where they can check out some of your designs or maybe get in contact with you.
Our shop is located at 126 Scout Fernandez. You could reach us at 416-9098, or you could check us out at Facebook.
All right. Well, Facebook. On the screen right now, it says 26. So don't, we'll just make that correction. It's 126. Baka mamaya naghahanap sila ng 26. Wala ba ng 26. Francis, I'm sure I'll see you on the red carpet very soon. It's wonderful to see you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. 20 years from down the line.